Hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. Today we have a special guest with us. His name is Sahil, and he cracked TCS Digital, and he has also joined TCS, and he is 2024 pass out batch. So anyway, we will know all those things from him itself. So congratulations, Sahil, and welcome to Online Study for You.
Thank you, sir, first of all. And I would like to thank Online Study for You. This is the reason I was selected because of your aptitude questions and others coding skills questions. It helped a lot for my selection.
Okay, great. So before we move ahead with questions, can you please introduce a bit?
Hello, I am
Yeah,
Sahil Shiga. I am from Patna, Bihar. I've done my BTech in Bioinformatics from Amity University, Noida.
okay, good. So can you please tell us like how did you apply for this TCS hiring? Was it off campus, on campus? And how did you prepare? When was your exam? So actually people want to hear more from you rather than I asking you questions.
Yeah. So the link for application for this NQT was on our campus placement WhatsApp group, but I applied in off-campus mode. It was
Okay,
off-campus NQT.
okay,
So I applied, and the NQT exam for me was on 8th May.
okay.
So
So
there
it
was
was.
aptitude questions and two coding questions,
Mhm,
which I solved.
mhm.
And then my interview was scheduled for 24th June,
Oh, quite late. Okay.
but late. Everything was in a month's gap.
Hmm.
Interview was 24th June, and then offer letter was generated on 24th July.
Okay.
Yeah,
And when you're joining, so it is like 24th of July, you said, right? So 24th of July
24th.
2024 was
Yeah.
your offer letter. And when did you join?
I joined recently in on 13th Feb.
13th Feb 2025. Okay,
Yeah,
great.
for 7 months.
Okay, 7 months of wait time, but that's okay. But TCS never disappoint. So
Mm.
you will always be, you know, uh, getting your joining and all. Okay, so now the question is like aptitude, reasoning, verbal ability, and then the coding questions. So TCS exams will be of little better level actually, so it won't be that simple. So how did you prepare for all those things? So do you had some kind of this preparation technique from third year you started or fourth year? So how was your like the preparation for all the examinations?
So, firstly, my target was to for interview because I thought I can crack any exams. I was upon my mind when I was in my third year. So I practiced for by with my friends using mock interviews and all. By the end of fourth year, when I gave some interviews in companies, I got a hold of how questions are asked, how the interviewer is planning to ask questions, and what they want to hear. And for the aptitude and coding questions, you were the only one that I saw and practiced with. And the questions you explained were mostly that questions were only asked for in the aptitude round, the reasoning and all the patterns questions. They were
Okay,
quite easy, and you explained very good.
thank you.
And for for the coding questions, there were two questions for DSA.
Mhm.
I uh, I solved them using Python, so I didn't face any problem.
Okay.
But hmm,
So
that's
all
it.
test cases were passed in both the questions.
Yeah, I solved both the questions.
Oh, it is strange because in Python many of them were facing this compiler issue.
Yeah,
So, but luckily you did not face.
I saw a video just before my exam how to solve that compiler issue. So in Python, if anyone wants to write their code, you can just enter and give a space because in Python we are using indentations rather
Correct.
than the curly braces in Java. So
Mhm.
it requires to press enter and just add a space. It will work. For me, it worked.
Okay. So you'd have got prime interview call, right?
Yeah, I got prime interview call, but after my interview, I was downgraded to digital.
Okay, okay, okay. Great, great. Because if you solve two coding question, then they will call you for prime interview itself. Okay. So this coding, see, I'm mostly insisting on coding part because most of the students will be like, quite scared about this coding. So this again, this Python DSA. So did you start in your, like fourth year itself, or you had started already in third year, and then you had a very, because solving both the questions, definitely you would have put some extra effort into this coding part. So how did you prepare for
I started coding on Lead Code and other various hackerranks like platforms in my third year only.
it? Mm-hmm.
Uh, it requires some practice, but eventually we get the hang of it. Just pick a particular language and stick to it. Like if you are good in Java and you know you can solve that, then stick to Java. I know I had good hands-on on Python, so I stick to Python and started DSA. So the NQT coding questions are not that hard from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Like only they don't go above binary search or binary trees. It is under that only,
Okay. But
like
into,
strings. That's all.
yeah, string arrays and all. So there
Yeah.
only they will try to complicate the questions a lot. Okay. So let us come back to the interview. So interview, can you please tell us where the interview was there? When did you go to the center? I think it was offline interview. So can you please explain from the beginning, like where you went to the center, what all documents you took for the interview? So the interview I wanted, to have more focused here because the students result, they have got the written result, and now they wanted to prepare for the interview. And also I uh, I also wanted to understand why, what was the reason, from prime you were downgraded to digital. So can you please explain in detail?
So as I told, my interview was on 24th July.
Hmm.
I was lucky that I got my interview location at my college only, Amity,
Okay.
Noida.
Hmm.
So there were many people from other colleges also. And a day before, we got a mail requiring all our documents that we need to bring for checking.
Hmm.
So there were all the mark sheets of 10th, 12th, and all the college mark sheets, original ID proof like Aadhaar or something.
Hmm.
They were all asked. We were asked to bring them all, and they were
Okay.
checked before our interview.
Okay.
So that
So,
process was long.
mhm. Okay. So when did you reach and when was your interview?
I reached there by 10 a.m. and the all the checking process required some time. So my interview was around 12:30.
Okay. So how many people were there in the interview? Like TR, MRH are all different, or how is it? And then what were the question asked in each rounds?
So I had two rounds. The TR and the manager round were combined. There were two people sitting, and the
Hmm.
HR round was. So
Okay.
in the first round, I must say that everyone needs to prepare their introduction. Some people think that they know themselves and they can explain themselves what they had did in their internship or their major project. But introduction is very important because in every interview, this is the only start and this drives the whole interview.
True.
Yeah, so I prepare my introduction like I wrote my introduction on a paper and then memorized it, but I told in a way that it looked original or say
Hmm.
natural.
Okay.
So the first was introduction, and then I had to bring two copies of my resume also. They needed that,
Mm-hmm.
and questions were from my resume only, like projects, explain the projects, and I did my projects in AI/ML and generative AI. So
Hmm.
the question revolved around that only.
Can you tell what was the question was asked? So do you remember any question?
So some the interview started with basic SQL questions
Mm-hmm.
like DML and what is that, and some queries they asked me to write down.
Mm-hmm.
After that, they went deep in my projects, like
So how you're
what I
writing? So were you writing on pen and paper, or they had given some?
yeah
Uh,
they had given me pen and paper to write on the queries.
okay.
So then they went to my projects, what I have done. So I've
Mm-hmm.
done the project in generative AI. So they asked what is the difference between AI, artificial intelligence, machine learning, and deep learning. What's
Mm-hmm.
the basic difference between that? How is generative AI different from artificial intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
Like this question, I have done also a project in CNN. So if anyone has done that, they would know all the. They asked me all the layers of all neural networks that I used.
Mm-hmm.
These were the questions that.
Okay. And also, so how many, I mean, were there any question which you are not able to answer?
Uh, they asked, they went, but I don't know why they asked me cloud questions or
Hmm.
networking questions. That was not in my resume, but I think a person with AI/ML background and the generative AI background must know something a little about clouds and networking. So
Okay.
I lagged there. So I believe that that's the point there
So
I
what were
got
the
down.
questions? Do you remember? If you remember the question, you please tell. So that will help.
Sorry, I don't remember the questions.
Hmm.
Like what it was total cloud based, and I didn't know the terminology also back then.
Maybe SaaS, PaaS, this all those things were there. Okay.
It was about AWS and how the working is there.
Okay. Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. So Amazon Cloud Services. Okay. Good. So for how much time the interview went?
My interview was around 45 to 50 minutes. It was
Okay.
quite long interview.
Okay. Did they also ask you to write the code which was asked in your written test?
Not the written test. They asked me to write easy code like do a factorial and one star problem. They gave star pattern problem.
Hmm.
So I did that.
So they want. So you wrote only logic, or you wrote the complete code?
I wrote the complete code because the code was quite small, like
Mm.
5 lines only.
Yes. Yes. Okay. So and for tier round, so they immediately sent you, or there was some selection criteria for to send you for the HR round. Sorry.
So the HR were sitting in that room only, but they were side. So after the tea round, they sent directly to the HR.
Okay. So what all question HR asked?
HR basically was trying to see my communication skills, and the first question she asked was, "Describe your daily routine. Like how did your day went?" So this
Mm-hmm.
was the first question. Like
Mm-hmm.
then she asked, "I am available for relocation or not?"
Mm-hmm.
I was not asked many questions by the HR. Some people were asked to solve some probability questions also. I was not asked that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was asked some basic managerial questions like if I am late to the meeting, what is the reason I am being late? These type
Mm-hmm.
of questions.
Okay. So many people they asked Pajal also, right, in MRI.
Like puzzles and probability balls questions like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Great. So so what is your suggestion to the student for their upcoming interviews?
So for the interview, as I said, everyone must prepare their introduction because that's the thing they want to hear. Like, how do you introduce yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Because the coding skills and other are secondary. Like you will go to ILP and they will train you for that. But
Mm-hmm.
you need to be able to communicate. Like all, and then you need to have command over all the projects you have done, all the
Mm-hmm.
technologies you have used, and all the things you have written in your resume. If you are not confident for some coding language, like I was not confident for C++ and some other language, so I didn't wrote down in my resume because I thought if they would ask, I would not be able to answer.
Mm. Okay.
So the major project is very important. This is the question they ask. They go in deeply.
Okay. And they had your resume already, or with the two copy of resume you went and you handed over one to them?
I handed over them. They didn't have
Okay.
anything.
So there is a chance where you can update your resume basically by
Yeah.
handing over this offline resume. Okay. Great. So thank you, Sahil, for coming to the platform and guiding the student through. Probably they will have questions and they will contact you through the comment
Yeah.
section, and I'll hope that you will help them again.
Yeah, sure. I'll try to help my best.
Sure, all the very, very best, man.
Thank you, sir. All the very best to all the students that are going for interview.